Looking back at the last season of My Little Pony Friendship is Magic, even if the episodes proved inconsistent in its quality, I can safely say that it was the strongest musically in the whole series to date. I ended my original Top 10 MLP Songs countdown released at Christmas 2 years ago, daring Season 5 to try and topple my number 1 song. Well, even though it didn't, I will give Dan Ingram some credit because he did his damnedest to try by throwing great song after great song at me. Well, except for one. With Season 6 underway and no musical number in sight at the time of recording, there's no better time for me to look at my top 5 songs from Season 5, and narrowing them down was a lot harder than I ever imagined, more so than whittling down 4 seasons worth the first time round. My rules from the prior list remain pretty much the same, but with a few little changes. Firstly, no songs from the Equestria Girls Friendship Games film, because I still have plans to make a countdown of best Equestria Girls songs. Secondly, no songs under a minute long, which rules out both versions of Equestria the Land I Love, no matter how emotional and well sung they are. Thirdly, if the song isn't listed on the MLP Wiki as an official song, it's not up for consideration. So, no matter how fantastic Vinyl Scratch and Octavia's classical versus dubstep duel was in Slice of Life, it doesn't fit the criteria here. Fourthly and finally, choices will be limited to 1 song per episode, just because I like a challenge. That or I am an absolute masochist. As with the last countdown, I will be speaking over the songs featured to avoid Hasbro's ginormous swinging copyright ID sledgehammer. So if you want to check out these songs in full, click this little symbol in the bottom right hand corner to go to a video where you can. Or you could just watch the episodes they come from, it's your choice. And you know what? I was horrified. Yes, horrified that people disregarded this piece of information in the last music countdown. So for the love of God, do not lay hate on me for you not listening. Anyway, let's get to the spectacle. Right after I try to get the melody of Rules of Rarity out of my head. The rules of rarity guarantee quality, this I can assure. Fuck!
Time for the spectacle, time for the show. The lights are bright and the colors glow. I'm not just any pony, I think you know. The time is now, it's about to go.
Choosing the number 5 entry for this list was quite tough, and it came down to a straight shootout between the lovely season climax that was Friends Will Always Be There For You and the underrated Make This Castle a Home. I flip-flopped back and forth between them, really unsure which one to go for, and in the end, surprisingly, the latter choice won. While you may be shocked by this choice, Make This Castle a Home packed more of a punch than its season-ending counterpart. The changing melody and instrument sections gave this song variety fitting of each pony's involvement. A soft mandolin melody represented their care of the situation that they were involved in, while the driving orchestral section gave a sudden sense of scope to what is such a menial task. When coupled with a driving drum beat to the mix, and you get a surprisingly well-rounded song that gets better with every listen. Even with all that, this song lives and dies by its vocal performances, especially by Ashley Ball, who gives Rainbow Dash the powerful opening line that may appear cringeworthy at first, but it starts the song off on the right foot, while she gives Applejack a final verse line that is albeit slightly underwhelming, but fitting of the character and realization of the mess they've inevitably caused. The choruses are delivered in time with harmonies that hit you round the head with their volume, showing the unity of the characters' friendship, while their actions undermine their intent. This song is the highlight of its respective episode, especially with the varied visuals accompanying you in seeing this overblown and needless action take place. Its reprise is unnecessary and takes this number's shine away, but it's definitely worth its weight and is deserving of its place here, even if I hated it upon first listen. And yes, Pinky, I will not forget the party hats.
The time is now, it's about to go.
We had to wait a while for this one, but Season 5 finally gave us a Rainbow Dash solo musical number! And boy, was it a good one! Taking form of a power ballad with a soft but punchy electric guitar driving its melody, this song fits with Rainbow Dash's personality while also using a slightly upped tempo, orchestral backing track and subtle keyboard lines to symbolise her desperation and insecurity by desiring to ruin winter for her own needs. It's a song that's as cool and fulfilling as one would expect, befitting of the rainbow-haired Pegasus by delivering on all of her strengths and weaknesses to make it an all-round encompassing number that shows just how much of an important moment and episode this was for her. This is exemplified by the chorus packing a surprising emotional punch while also showing off Ashley Ball's unbelievable vocal range in the process. When coupled with the hilarious visuals, it comes off as a complete package for sure. While the opening line regarding making lemonade with life giving you lemons is incredibly off-putting and awfully cliche, it's a song that even the most fevered Rainbow Dash hater such as myself can love. It's a sing-along anthem that doesn't disappoint with its simplicity and wows with its quality, making an already good episode into a great one. This was a long time coming, but it was definitely worth the wait.
The time is now, it's about to go. Heads high, ponies, marching proud. All together now, every one of you. No pony left behind.
If there's one thing I want from a premiere, it's something that surprises me. Lo and behold, if the brainwashing cult narrative of the cutie map wasn't enough, they had to go full-blown communist by throwing in a propaganda song to heighten it to the nth degree. With an expected snare drum beat playing off the marching of the brainwashed masses, the low-pitch and toned brass sections go hand in hand with the monotonous harmonies to represent the character's suffering and the horrible situation perfectly, while a series of high-octave flute lines and whistles symbolise Starlight Glimmer's overzealous power complex and her absolute glee in being able to show off what is likely a very rare public occasion for the decrepit and run-down town that is very reminiscent of the Soviet Union and North Korea's opulent military parades. You know, without the pizzazz. It's a simple song that is full to the brim with symbolism, which when coupled with the haunting lyrics about neglecting individual and selfish tendencies, makes it an extremely uncomfortable watch. And you may think that, but it also makes you marvel in awe at the fact that Hasbro and DHX had the balls to pull it off in the first place. Kelly Sheridan's leading performance shows off a varied range with restrained delivery, befitting of a charismatic leader with skewed and conflicting intentions. It matches her domineering presence in the accompanying animation, which when coupled with the main six's reactions, brings a sense of unease that no song since This Day Aria has been able to match. In Our Town is as memorable and catchy, while at the same time being terrifying and haunting in equal measure. It starts off the season premiere with a bang that you can't see, but you most definitely feel.
The time is now, it's about to go.
Choosing a song from Crusaders of the Lost Mark was like trying to choose your favourite child, because every single song in that episode was fantastic. We Made Our Mark was emotional as hell, but loses its significance and impact when listening to it without the accompanying visuals, while the vocal performances of Chantel Strand were the standouts of The Pony I Want to Be and Light of Your Cutie Mark respectively. All three of them didn't really hit me quite as hard as the vote did on its first and subsequent listens. What made me pick this over the others in this wonderful episode, you might ask? It's quite simple. The wider variety of vocal performances, instrumental diversity, and an ever-changing tone depending on the singer in question. Taking lessons from In Our Town and using military snare drums as a driving beat, along with utilising a glockenspiel and acoustic guitar, it gave the Crusaders' rallying cry for Pipsqueak's campaign a softer yet passionate feeling to it, while Diamond Tiara's blackmailing smear campaign is postured by a harpsichord melody and low-octave brass that typically reinforces her evil intentions, accenting it with flutes to accompany her attempts at being nice in the second verse to really amp up your desire to see her lose. This is a dueling song done right, especially with all the vocal performances fitting the tone of the instruments to bring a sense of gravitas to every word of the well-written and mature lyrics. On top of that, it's surprisingly Silver Spoon's cameo performance that stands out the most. It may be cut off before it can reach its climax, but it exemplifies the symbolism and antagonism of power trampling over unity fantastically. The vote is an all-encompassing piece that sets the plot of the episode up nicely while also providing the show's young audience an example of how the democratic election system, campaign management, and ideological differences play out. While it may be overshadowed by the supreme emotional weight of the episode's later numbers, it shines brightly in all areas the others fail on. Overall, it's stunning in its execution as the longest number of the season, starting off the third musical episode of the entire series with the type of song that many would dream of. If I had to find a fault with this not being number one, it's that it's let down by the Crusaders' vocal harmonies being less powerful than expected based on their previous numbers in this series. But at least it's done for a reason, in highlighting Pip as the humble cult that'll look out for all. Now that is a message I can get behind.
The time is now, it's about to go.
I had a hard time picking the prior four, but there was no doubt as to what the best song of season 5 was. Bring forward Lena Hall and her glorious set of pipes. She was indeed the main attraction, and lo and behold, the highlight from that episode has grabbed the number 1 spot. And it wasn't even close. There isn't much I need to say about the magic inside. The quality of the music really speaks for itself. Hall's sublime vocal performance, the complex piano playing and string section adds power and layers of emotion to a song that proves to be the climax of the episode's narrative. Made to be a tribute to the stripped-down Lady Gaga songs and their subsequent live versions, I can say that it does justice and then some. It hits you like a sledgehammer, wowing you with its scope and size, yet bowling you over with the simplicity of its execution. Listening to it, you can hear the heart and passion of not just Ra-Ra at being one with herself, but also Lena Hall putting everything she has into ensuring that you feel it with gusto. This song is inspiring, a joy to listen to, and a showing of just how grand this series' music has become over the years. That even at its simplest, it can hit the right notes, and with the help of a Tony Award winner, becomes something much, much more. I'm hoping that Dan Ingram and Amy Keating-Rogers win the Daytime Emmy they've been nominated for, as this song is more than deserving of it. I have been Freddie Thomas, you've been people watching, this has been a Top 5 Friendship is Magic Season 5 Songs Countdown for the CC Network, and I will see you all next time.